Hello, everyone. So welcome to this amazing workshop. So I just wanted to say hello, Toronto, because this is the first time I'm doing a presentation fully in English in Toronto. So, very happy to be there with you today. So the session today is named Effective Feedback, how to receive and give feedback to your manager, your peers, your colleagues, people you interact with on a daily basis. So that's the subject. My name is Stephanie, and my last name, yes, you pronounce every letter of my last name. So people are always confused. So my last name is Badouix. So like Asterix, Twix, everything is pronounced, you pronounce every letter. So Stephanie Badouix, and I'm the HR director at the company called TouchTunes. So it's a Montreal company in the music industry, and I will discuss a little bit of TouchTunes a little bit later. And my pronoun is she, her, and I'm very happy to be there at the first Queer Tech conference as a LI and to be a proud sponsor of Queer Tech for the first year and many years to come. So thank you for attending this session. It's going to be a very interactive session. I'm going to use an interactive tool called Mentimeter so that people in the room can participate and enjoy the session, as well as the people attending live this presentation. So please feel free to join me and share your feedback, your experiences with me. That will be very important. The agenda for today. So of course we need to go a little bit to the basics. So what is feedback? What are the benefits? What are our fears when we discuss about feedback, and the essentials? I will also would like to share to you a very simple tool that I really enjoy to give you some help to give effective feedback and how to be prepared and how to go through the conversation while delivering a feedback. And we will also discuss about the importance of asking for feedback and also what is important when you receive feedback. Okay, so really be in the two different situations. Two disclaimers before starting. The first one is this is not something when you will learn something new. We learn through our professionals, personal life. We often give feedback, receive feedback. So nothing will be new. But this session is really to have a refresher and to take a step back a little bit to reflect about, okay, I was in this situation. Did I apply all these things right now? How can I change? How can I be better? So that's really the first disclaimer. The second disclaimer is that you might have noticed from my accent that I'm coming from Birmingham and I'm a British person. Okay? This is clearly evident. So no, the only thing is that sometimes some people have difficulty to understand my accent because I always been told that I have a cute French accent, so I don't make any effort to change it. But sometimes there is some words that you may need to ask me to repeat, so don't be shy. I'm pretty used to that, so let me know if you don't get a point today, okay? So the first interactive session, I will ask you to go on www.menti.com and to use this code. And that's where we can see if the technical magic is happening. And as I said, TouchTunes, we are in the music industry. So we create jukeboxes. And we are present in 65,000 entertainment venues in North America. So if you think about that, it's all the Starbucks and McDonald's restaurants combined in North America. And for me, music is very important in my life and in the TouchTunes company. So I just want you to let me know which song this morning best describe your feeling. Dun, dun, dun. Mystery suspense, is it working? Oh, yes. We are pretty going to learn a few songs and artists about downtime. Great. Shakira's Try Everything. Nice one. I'm Alive. Yes, by Celine. Can't Stop the Feeling, Justin Timberlake. Happy, yes, that's my song for this morning. I'm someone very happy, so Happy from Pharrell Williams. Go around the world. Yes, Beyonce. Pocket of full of sunshine. Do we have? Okay. Few more. I will survive. Monday morning. Okay, Friday, but it's working. Pocket full of sunshine. Anti-hero. We are gonna take it. Hair, Lady Gaga. Nice. So a lot of different feeling. I'm so tired. Thank you. That's true. It's Friday. What a week. Thank you. I didn't know this song. I'm so tired by love. Okay, I will listen to it. Another one maybe can have As It Was, Harry Styles, Rebel, yeah. Nice. Thank you. So thank you for sharing your emotion this morning. Music is an important part of the life, so I always want to refer back to music. Nice. So we are ready to start with the content. So as I said, what is feedback? So usually people ask that in Google, and I just take a simple definition within Google. So what is feedback in the workplace? And this is simple as it is. It's simply defined as a process of giving constructive suggestions by supervisor, reporting managers, as well as your peers, your colleagues, and to aim at improving your performance. So there is always something to be better at. Reinforcing good behavior, because there is not only constructive feedback, there is also positive feedback, and improving our morale and dedication to doing our jobs on a daily basis. So that's really the essence of feedback. And if you think, so we are all professionals at the moment, so any professional who is committed to be better at his or her job right now, and that wants to have career advancement, needs to be open to receive on a daily basis or frequently feedback, because that's when you improve and you get better. So yes, it's not easy to get or to receive sometimes constructive feedback, and let's be transparent, constructive feedback is also negative feedback, but while it is delivered appropriately, this feedback will help us to grow and to improve and to be better at our jobs. So that's really what you need to think about feedback. And far too often we fail to digest negative feedbacks because we are more committed to protecting ourselves and our egos against it. So that's really something that's also a disclaimer and that we need to consider. Effective feedback. So there is two different types of feedback. The informal one, the one that I call informal, is really a feedback that is really light, a light observation, an impact statement that should be given to all employees or to your colleagues every week and preferably every day. So we always have a feedback to share every day throughout our journey at work. So that's called informal feedback. And we are a little bit more used in our companies to what we call formal feedback. So we usually wait for something a little bit more formal. So it can be a one-on-one meetings, team meetings, product meetings, or your performance reviews, if it happens every quarter, every semester, every year. And we wait for those discussions to happen. And that's where we are used to formal feedback, because this is part of our performance reviews and part of the policies within the company. So we need to distinguish those two, informal feedback and formal feedback. Formal feedback, I'm pretty sure that we are all doing it and giving it and receiving it. But informal feedback, even myself, I know that I can do a better job to just every day give feedback constructively or have a light, positive statement that I can give to people that I interact with on a daily basis. Does it make sense so far? Yes? Okay. So the second question that I would like you to participate, and because I know you have an answer to these questions, what are the benefits of receiving feedback? Learn, yes, very important word. Make you a better person. A lot of growth, yes, definitely. We had a presentation on growth mindset, fixed mindset, and definitely feedback is essential to have a growth mindset. Learn and adjust, important the word adjust. Gauge my personal metrics within the organization, yes. Opportunity for people to check my blind spots. Yes, awareness, self-awareness, important word as well. So you know you can be there at my place right now to do the presentation. Recognition. Yes, positive feedback helps to recognize, to praise your colleagues or your manager. Know how to improve. Improve collaboration. Awareness also, you're not making the same mistakes or creating bigger problems. Nice. Positive feedback, valorization. So again, the notion of recognition, praise. Reduce the imposter syndrome. Yes. Validation. True. We'll discuss about that when you ask for feedback. Trust building. Yes, so very good answer. Thank you very much for your participation in the room and online. Few points that are very important for me. So I really like this movie, Think. So that's why I put that I feel good, because even if I give feedback or I receive feedback, at the end, we all want to feel good about it. So benefits of receiving feedback. Definitely, you mentioned it helps to clarify expectations. So you have this feedback, you know what is expected from you. So very important. The second one, we mentioned about it, the aim is to improve performance, so to be better, to achieve greater results, be better and have performance results that are higher. So that's an important one that you state. It opens line of communication as well. When you think about it, you use your communication skills when you give feedback and you receive feedback. So that's very important within the workplaces. You build and improve relationships, because sometimes you can give a feedback to someone that you interact a little bit less than your direct team members, and you will learn from this person, you will know them. So definitely important for relationships. Facilitate the resolution to a specific challenge. So somebody mentioned it in the comments. Yes, it's right. When you receive feedback, sometimes it's a specific action that you did, or you work on a specific project, and it facilitates the resolution of your challenges. So I often go to my peers to say, okay, I have this situation right now. What will you do if you were at my place? What is your perspective on that? What is the feedback that you can give me to address this situation? And by doing that, I have a lot of resolution to a specific challenge that I'm working in my HR director position. The other one, again, mistakes. We had a presentation of learning from our failure yesterday. That was very interesting. It helps people to learn from their mistakes. If nobody is giving you this feedback when we fail, how can you improve? How can you know that you could do better? It builds confidence in your performance. You know, positive feedback. I don't know anybody that told me, oh, I received a very good feedback and I was not very happy about it. No, you take it, you are happy, you are confident. So that's also one expectations and benefits. And growth. So a lot of people mention growth. It's true. It fosters your continuous improvement and your growth throughout the time. So that's the benefits of receiving feedback. And the last one, which is one of the most important one, is strengthen your self-awareness. Very, 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 very true. So now there is benefits of receiving feedback. But when we are in this situation, when you need to give feedback to someone, what are your fears? I will ask you to participate. Again, go to www.menti.com, use the code, and just like share with the other what will be the fears of giving feedback. Yes, the notion of offended the recipient, effectively. You fear that you will hurt someone, hurting their feelings, using the wrong words, looking like a bee, yeah. Hurting recipients. Yeah, angry response, you don't know how the people will react, so we fear the reaction of the recipient. Confrontation, they take it out of context and they share with others, and you open yourself to give this feedback and it was not so easy. Fear of giving it if manager use no news is good news policy. Yes. You took it personally, the person will it will create conflicts, hurt your relationship. Defensive response. So there is a lot of fear that is how the person will respond to the feedback, and that's definitely one of the big fears that we have when we give feedback. Finding the right words again, hurt the person, perceived as a negative person. Again, you have all the correct fears that we all have when we need to give a feedback. And it's not an easy position, but you need just to make sure that your position is like you want to do it for something great. Like you have good intention while delivering this feedback. And that's the key. So let's share with you some fears of giving feedback, and all the answer has been quoted. So yes, giving feedback, it can be uncomfortable because this is not something like that is easy. Like in my 15 years of experience as HR, nobody came to me and said, oh my God, Stephanie, you know what? My strength is that I'm so good at giving constructive feedback. I love it. This is really where I excel. No, never happened. Someone told me that. So yes, everybody like feeling this non-comfort zone. You are in your non-comfort zone. You mentioned it, we don't want to hurt someone's feelings because it's difficult. So, like it's going to be, how it's going to be received. So again, very important. It takes too much time. And we will see that in a second, that when you need to deliver a feedback and you want it to be appropriately done, you need to take the time to do it. So it's not like something that you do instinctively, like, oh, you know, like what, I'm going to give you a constructive feedback. You need to think about it. So it takes time, and it's a fear as well. We want to be well liked. Again, I don't know anyone that came to the office and said, oh, you know what, I really want to have enemy at work. That's really my passion, and I don't want people to like me. No, we all want to be well liked. So that's difficult to be in that situation when you give constructive feedback. We fear retaliation. You know, like, hey, you give me a negative feedback, I'm going to give you a negative feedback as well in return, and we'll see who will be the better at it. Yeah, no. So, but we fear that because it's true. So if I give negative feedback, the person will take this moment to say, hey, you know what? You too, you suck at this, huh? No. So that's a fear. And then also you mentioned it, people get defensive. You don't know how people will react, but sometimes it's true that people can be angry, and we will see the challenges of how do you manage those situations. Or sometimes we assume they already know. So the fear is that, oh, I'm not sure, they already know, perhaps it's going to be the 10 times that I'm going to give us feedback, and they will just say, like, yeah, I know, you know, like, move on, like, I have something else to do. So this is one of the fear as well. And we just don't know how to give feedback. Like, this is a simple fear. How can I be prepared and make sure that my feedback will be taken appropriately? And that's why I'm here today, basically. Just to remove this fear a little bit of giving constructive feedback and to give you some tools to help you. So feedback essentials, like quickly, just to set the table, as I always said. The essential is that specific. Use example, include details of event, behavior, situation, just state the moment where you are going to bring the feedback and the person, where you want the person to be. Ongoing, give them an opportunity to use this feedback. You know, it's not a one-time feedback, they need to adjust, they need to reshape the results and be better with this feedback. So ongoing is also an essential one. The other one is timely, real time, fresh in your memory. You know, like, let's put ourselves in a role play, like somebody is coming to me and said, you know, Stephanie, the presentation that we had a conversation 6 months ago. And at that time, 6 months ago, you told me this specific sentence. And I didn't like the word that you used in that context because it made me sad and so on. But 6 months ago, my God, I have so many meetings, I don't remember what I did. I'm so sorry, I will apologize, but I don't remember, it's not fresh. So don't wait for a long time to bring your feedback. It needs to be timely and fresh in the memory of the situation. Goal-oriented and actionable. You need to provide information where they are on track or they need to change something, the course of action. What specifically should they do more or less next time? You need to explain that to the person. Meaningful, we mentioned growth and development. Your intention is to bring like meaning, so ensure feedback is for growth and development. And user-friendly. Again, we want to be well-liked. So like this is a user-friendly environment, clear, to the point, not overwhelming. I'm taking into consideration your emotion right now, and I'm here to support you. And focused on the future. So really, we can't change the past. What if someone did something wrong in a team meeting? It's the past. Don't focus on this event. Like it's not going to, you are not going to have a special machine to go back and reverse the time. So just focus on the future to say, you did that, fine. Focus on what they can improve, do in the future to get better results. And the last one, trusted relationship. Trust is key while you will receive and give this feedback. So show that you care, that you are trying to help, you want their support, and you are here to make them a better person at work or in their personal life. Fine? Is it okay so far? Just to set the table? Okay. So giving effective feedback. So I'm going to share with you a very simple feedback model that I really enjoy, which is called SBI. And SBI stands for Situation, Behavior, Impact. And I know there is a lot of different models to give feedback. This one is the one that I really enjoy to share with different people, is the fact that you are here to deliver more effectively a feedback. So just focus on the situation. Describe the situation, be specific about when it occurred, where it occurred, so that you state, you set the table. Then behavior is like very important that you describe the observable behavior. So don't assume you know what the other person was thinking in that moment, and just focus on specific situation and the behavior that has been displayed during that event. And then outline the impact that this behavior or that situations like add on you at that moment, add on you or add on others. And just like describe your thought, how did you feel in reaction to this event? So that's simply it is that SBI, situation, behavior, impact. And that's how you should all prepare your feedback conversation with this model in mind. That's the one that I'm using because it's like a simple one. One of my passion is doing improv. So that's something that I do in my personal life in French, not in English. But one example that I want to share with you of an effective feedback. Let's say that you are Sarah, and I'm going to you, and I will say, Sarah, you were really helpful in the team meeting today. Thank you. Good job. And that's it. Dot. How do you feel if you are Sarah right now? Nothing? Ouais. Exact. Exact. Yeah, perfect. So that's why it's ineffective. Because I'm Sarah, I'm taking the very positive feedback, but what did I do? What did I do differently? Why at this meeting I was very helpful? I don't know. So effective feedback will be to say to Sarah, Sarah, at the end of the team meeting this morning, bam, situation, clear, at the end of the team meeting. You gave a summary of the key action steps we had discussed. Behavior. And I was really glad that you did that because it seemed to bring a good sense of closure to the meeting. So impact on me, I'm glad. Impact on the process, good sense of the closure. So Sarah, she exactly know at that time what she did well. And perhaps it's the first time that she is doing it. And you reinforces her confidence in more participation during the team meeting, or like being able to speak up in front of an audience when she's not used to. And you help her to be aware of what she has done great, and you are happy for Sarah to have stepped in during that team meeting at the end. So that's an effective feedback for Sarah and a positive one. Another one, a little bit more cool, is like, I'm going to Chris. Oh, David, sorry. David, you have a lazy attitude. Bye. Have a nice day, David. Like, so what's the impact on David's? Yes, Mac. Yes, perfect, exact. There was somebody. Exact. You say, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean. I'm lazy. I was myself during that meeting. I'm always like that, like, don't get it. Yes? Yes, exact. Yes, exact. So for David or Chris, or not to feel that way at the end, like that's how it's important to give more details, describe the situation, what David did to have this lazy attitude and what should it change. So David, I noticed during this morning's project meetings that you did not volunteer to work on any activities and you constantly look down at your desk during the meeting, so the behavior. I feel, I feel that you are not contributing to the success of our team. And I'm delivering this message to you because I want your attitudes to change and I want you to notice that behavior that is impacting me as your colleague, as your manager, as somebody that interacts with you on a daily basis. And what can we do to make this change? Or what is happening right now with you and you have this attitude during the meetings? So there is a lot of context, a lot of situation, a lot of behavior described for David to reflect on that feedback and decide what he wants to do with this feedback as well. Let's be clear. You can have somebody that will ignore the feedback and don't change, but at least you deliver it in a way that you gave him some information for him to change. Yes. So honestly, my answer will be why you think the feedback should be different because it's your manager. Like, I know it's difficult, but as I said, well, but any professional, as I said at the beginning, who is committed to be better should receive the feedback appropriately. And it's not a question of how can you do it. There is no difference to do it to your manager, to your upper management, to your colleague or someone. You just need to make sure that the time is the right time, that you do it appropriately, and that when you do it to your upper management, is they understand that it's to support them and so they get better and to improve a relationship, to open lines of communications, to mention an observation that you have. And this person needs to be open to the feedback because that's how they will grow. So I often share feedback to our CTO or our general manager of TouchTunes, and this person, and that's why I really enjoy also working with you. You choose your company as well and the people you work with, and those person, they are they are receptive to the feedback. They are listening, and they are sometimes doing some mea culpa to say, yes, you're right. I should not use that, or I should not have this behavior during the meeting because that was the impact. So honestly, to answer your question, and I completely understand that sometimes it could not be the case, but there is no different method of delivering a feedback because it's super management or a peer or a colleague. And your company, and that's the reality, your company should have like a culture of feedback in place to make sure that feedback is not always top to bottom, but it's also bottom to top. So if you put that in place, culture of feedback, it will be easier for everybody to be comfortable to share feedback. Yes. Exact. Yes. And that's in the tool that I shared is exactly the impact on you, the impact on the team, the impact this situation had, like, at an overall level. Nice. So yes, question, comment. Yes, because you also want, as we said, you need to make sure that you also like notice their emotions, how they feel. They can have something in their life like happening, and that can also explain the situation. So that's definitely something that you want to open a discussion and to be also like here to support them. Because if it's also something that is very unusual, that's great to notice that and to be there for them. So prepare for conversation. As I said, success needs preparation. And it's key in every situation. So if you want to be successful when delivering a feedback, positive or constructive feedback, you need to prepare for it. And some of the questions that you can answer in advance to make sure that you do this preparation are those one. Identify the feedback that you need to give. What is your purpose behind the feedback that you want to give? It's a very important one. What is the aim? What do you want to achieve with this conversation? Prepare also, you mentioned it as a fear, but prepare for the individual reactions. So sometimes you know a little bit more the person that you will deliver the feedback, so you can assess how this person will react and so anticipate that. But sometimes you don't. Like one time, let me share a story. I had to share a constructive feedback to one of my peers, and literally this person like stand up and was rolling on the floor. And that's not a joke. Really. Like, this is one example in my 15 years of career, but I can tell you that when it happens, I did not anticipate this reaction at all. So I was like, okay, what's going on? And the person was really rolling over the floor. But there was an emotion, as you mentioned, the people were in a state of mind or there was something going on. But honestly, at that time, I was like, oh my God, okay, I think what's happening, and the conversation switched automatically, but to like something more personal. But you can never expect like the reaction of someone, but you can prepare a little bit in advance. Decide where and when. Like sometimes there is good moment, there is not a good moment, so that's also something that you need to think in advance. How will you communicate the SBI? So sometimes there is some people that needs to a little bit of preparation. They need to write it down. So if it's something that will help you, write it down. What are the expectations going forward? Think about some improvement or way of the person can improve in the future. And how will you show the support? That's also a very important question. So that's some questions that I just put here to help you to prepare for the conversation. And the moment is happening. This is the time of the feedback conversation. So usually it's a one-on-one conversation. So again, during that time, you state the purpose. You ask for permission. This one is key. When you are going in a conversation, especially to give a constructive feedback, you need to ask for permission. Because this is important that the person that you will deliver the feedback is in a good state of mind and is open and is ready to have this conversation. So it's a simple question to say, hey, Sarah, I would like to have the opportunity to give a feedback. Is it a good time right now to do that? And the person will say, oh, okay, no, it's not a good time right now because I need to do something else and I have only a few minutes, or it's not a good day, so right now I had a hard day, so can we do it tomorrow? And that's okay, but you need to ask for permission and not like go like, okay, now, this is the time, I want to say something to you. No, it's not certain way, to be honest. Identify and communicate the SBI, so situation, behavior, impact, and ask for reactions. So encourage the questions and listen. We'll discuss about how to receive, but ask questions. Like this is not a one conversation. Like, I'm not the only one to give you feedback. We are here to have a conversation. That's why it's feedback conversation. And agree on changes in behavior or action. So decide how can I help you to change this? What can we do? Is it something that I can help, or can I ask the support of somebody else to help you to be better at that? And express support. Last point, express support is very key, because you need to show that you have their back and that you support them, you want them to succeed. So this is an important part. And if you just take a step back and you put yourself in a situation when you receive a constructive feedback lately, this was not easy for the person to give you that feedback. So this person took the time and the energy to deliver you a feedback. And it's not to be mean. Like, I have faith in people. It was not to be mean. It was just to make sure that you were better and to support you. Because the easy way in life is that not to share feedback and to say something. It's really easy and easier to do that. So when your colleagues, your manager is taking the time, it's just like because they want you to be better and to support you. So that's very important. Oh yes, and your job in giving feedback, it's not done as soon as the conversation is over. So it's not like, okay, I done my job, I deliver the feedback, now, bye, thank you, my job is done. No, no, your job in giving feedback, it is done when it is received, it has been listened, and it has been internalized and applied by the person that you are addressing your feedback. That's when your job in giving feedback effectively is done, not after the conversation. So there is follow-ups that needs to happen. Question, interactive section. I want you to put yourself, oh, somebody is very quick. I state some behaviors that we may have when we receive constructive feedback. So let's be honest and just select the one that you have gone through. It can be one, it can be none, it can be the 5 behaviors, but just take a moment to be honest with ourselves and just mention, do any of these behaviors sound like you when receiving feedback? We give some time because we are more than 12 right now, so. So this is normal behavior that we all like experience while we are receiving feedback, and this is completely normal. So thank you for being honest, taking the time to acknowledge that yes, we sometimes have those reactions when we receive feedback. And so it's interesting to see that everyone has experienced once one of the situations, but the first one is I'd rather catastrophize rather than put it in perspective. And this is a normal behavior that, oh my God, like we need sometimes to reflect, to digest, and then after a few days, depending on our emotions, we are able to put this feedback into perspective and say, okay, I get it, I will be better, that's what I will do, and put an action plan in our mind. The second one, rather shut down that listen, it's also a common reaction when we are in a feedback conversation. The third one, I'd rather make it about someone or someone else than making about it myself. Yes, the concept of blaming others and not taking the responsibility is also a behavior that we all have experienced while receiving constructive feedback. And the first one is like, it happened also to me to say, huh? What do you know? You? What do you know? I have nothing to learn from you. So thank you. Next. So it's also a normal behavior to have, but just make sure that you separate the feedback from the person delivering it. That's very key. And then I'd rather be right than having something to learn. It's also normal behavior that I have a lot of opinions, I am right, and I'm not going to take your feedback and I will ignore it and I will move on. So thank you for sharing that. So I will just display two, I would say, normal reactions that we all experience during a feedback conversation and challenging situations. So, you give effective feedback and you have this person in front of you, like being like defensive and angry, and they just want to break everything around you and break the table, and they are really mad and they are not able to control themselves. So, okay, it's a little bit too much perhaps, but angry is one of the reactions. So what do you do when they are angry? Oh, I will ask you the question. I'm pretty sure you experience that. You deliver feedback and you have someone very mad in front of you. Yes?
Try to let them speak. And
Yes. Perfect. So listen. Yes. Yes. Great. Yes. Yes. Perfect. So again, question of let's leave the emotion and acknowledge and listen. Yes. Yes. They would like to take a break. Yes. Perfect. So that's very good reaction. So be clear and succinct if you see that it's not going in the right direction. Like, you need to make sure that it's not going to last forever because the person is in an emotion right now and is not listening to you anymore, clearly. So be calm, like don't get derailed. I don't know. Thank you. Um, so, yes, acknowledge that they are feeling, it has been mentioned, and shift the conversation towards solutions. And as mentioned, take a break if needed. So just say, I think we are not going to have a good time right now, so let's take back the conversation a little bit later. The other challenging situation is the person in front of you is shut down. So what to do in that situation? Any clue? Yes, exact. So ask open-ended questions to make sure that you try the person to open up a little bit more and listen again. If the person is like changing a little bit and wants to share with you, open yourself to show trust. This is key as well in this situation. And also something that I really need to improve myself, let the silence. So don't feel uncomfortable with a silent moment because this person probably needs to think a little bit more and don't fill the gaps. So that's very key. And same as before, schedule a follow-up meeting or ask for another action because the person needs to process, needs to digest, and you will have a solution-oriented meeting a little bit later. So that's the two challenging situations that I wanted to share with you. So the next question is that what is key to giving effective feedback? So I am going to close the chapter of giving effective feedback. So what is the key message that you have in your mind and you want to remember? Yes, right intentions behind. Yes, true. Yes, be clear, be timely, specific, having a relationship with trust. Trust, again, is key. Be factual. It's for performance improvement. It's to help my peers to succeed. Always have something nice to say. Yes, thank you. Informal feedback. Every day you can give feedback to your colleagues, management. Make it about learning and the other person. Show that doing with empathy. True. Delivery is important. Thank you. That's a key message from my session today. You need to prepare, and it's key. SBI, listen, observe, and reflect. Yes, so that's really are the key. So I'm going to go quickly to make sure I have enough time for the rest of the session. But for me, the key is like be courageous and have a conversation. Like, don't say, oh no, it's not needed. I will just avoid having this difficult conversation. No, let's be courageous and have it because this is for good intention. Be constructive, purposeful, um, timely, as we mentioned, so fresh in your memory, specific, be authentic. So we had a session yesterday about building authentic relationships. So this is important that you are giving feedback to help the person, and they must believe that you have good intentions behind the conversation. Demonstrate your support. We go through that. And something that I didn't mention on my slide, but own the feedback. This is key as well. So it's very important to say, I feel, I want to do that, instead of saying, others said that, blah, blah, blah. So this is very important to own that feedback. Asking for feedback. So quickly, because effective feedback, that's great. You give, you receive. But what about asking for feedback? So take a moment to reflect about how often do you ask for feedback? Is it every day, once a week, once a month, rarely, never? About asking. Yes, so clearly you can, so thank you for your participation again. Clearly you can see the result, how often. So it's like once a week, once a month, some people rarely, never, one person every day. So definitely, this is important to ask for feedback. That's how you will be better. We are going to advance our career. So don't wait for the conversations to happen. Like just simply ask for feedback. And this is key because this is how you will know how to get better. And I'm pretty sure that when asking for feedback, a lot of people will open up and will share with you. So once a month is clearly not enough. that you rely on your company policies perhaps or your formal reviews to have feedback and to ask for it. But you need to do it oftenly. So at least once a week, we have a lot of things going on in our professional situations. Every day you are doing something, you are working on something, you are attending a meeting, you are doing a presentation, you are sharing with someone. So every day we have something to ask about our journey. So you know what I'm going to say about this image? Somebody put it in the comment. Yes? Yes. Feedback is a gift. We often hear that, but again, I just wanted to state again, feedback is a gift. Who does not want a gift? Everybody wants a gift. So ask for it. It's really a gift. If it's positive or constructive, this is a gift. So we need to acknowledge that. And be clear that you want honest feedback, honest advice. So if I ask for feedback, I'm asking, so I'm ready to receive any type of feedback at the moment because I'm asking. Ask often and ask the right person. So all the times I have a lot of people coming to say, I ask feedback to my manager, or I ask feedback to my N+1 or N+2. Okay, this is the usual reaction to asking for feedback. But ask feedback to people that you work closely with, your colleagues, people that are in the same product meeting or same sales meeting than you. They also are advocates, champions to give feedback, not only your manager. And this is important. So don't remember that often we ask feedback from our manager, but you need to just élargir, expand. The network of people that you can ask for feedback. And ask open-ended questions. So if you want to ask for feedback, just not ask, so how did I do? No, what do you need from me? It's also a feedback, you know? Is there something that I can do differently? Use the start, stop, keep feedback to say, is there anything that we should start as a team? Is there anything that I should keep doing within my presentation? Do you feel you are getting enough feedback from me or from the team, and so on? So there's something to learn from everyone. There is something to learn from everyone. Remember this sentence. It's like the feedback is a gift. Even if receiving constructive feedback, negative feedback, it's hard and can be hard, it's also hard to get better if you don't receive any. Okay? So that's why it's important. And I have one action for you. And I will ask you to take 1 minute to think about that. The action that I will ask you to do for next week. And I'm really a fan of Liam Neeson. And in this movie, his sentence is like, I have a very special set of skills. I will find you and I will ask for your feedback. That's exactly what he's saying in that movie. No, the action that I want you to take is really take a moment to, right now, identify someone who you are going to ask for feedback and you want feedback on, and to take an action for yourself. And next week, you will go to that person and you will ask for feedback from this person. So take some time to think who will be that person, and really, feedback is a gift. Do yourself a gift. Next week, go to that person and ask for feedback. My action today is that I have a lot of employees from TouchTunes today listening to my presentation. So my action will be that I will go to every of them and ask for their feedback. Okay, so you are prepared, you know now, you know my action, you know next week how we go. But because this is important, they see me in action, they have a good feedback to share with me, and I want to be better for my next presentation. I don't know where, in Singapore, New York, I don't know, like ambition. So that's important. And the last thing, receiving feedback, because we discussed a lot about giving, asking, but receiving. So you can be in the place of receiving feedback effectively. So what is key? Listen to the feedback given. So you are in that position when you receive feedback. This means not interrupting, letting the person go through the feedback using the SBI model. Let them finish. Hear the person out and be able to separate the feedback from the person delivering it. That's key. Okay, so you are in that moment, you are present at 100% and you listen. The second one is be aware of your responses. Okay, your body language and your tone of voice when you respond is like, it's like huge compared to the words that you will use. So a quick reminder, the power of the voice, the words is representing only 7%. Your body language, 57%. And your voice, 36%. So that's key. When you will receive feedback and you are going to answer, be conscious about that. If you have a body language like that, I definitely can see that you are a little bit close and it's not going in the right direction. So if you are like that and the tone of voice when answering is like, okay, I get it, like it's different. So be conscious about that. Then be open. It means that be receptive to new opinions, new idea, new way of thinking, a new perspective. Somebody is going to have a different opinions, and that's important. So be open and have this mindset. Understand the message, very key. Sometimes some people are giving me feedback and I'm not sure because of the language barrier sometimes. So you need to feel comfortable to ask the person some questions to make sure that you completely understand 100% what was the intention and what was some clarifications so specific are needed. So ask questions to make sure you understand what is being said to you instead of thinking that this person was saying to me. Reflect and decide what to do. I already mentioned this point, but this is true. So yes, our job is not done when I give the feedback because I want this person to internalize it and apply it. But this is our responsibility when being the recipient to decide, what do I do with this feedback? I want to use it, and then I decide what to do with this feedback and how to change. And my answer is my choice. So I can also decide to ignore it. That's okay. And thank them and follow up. As I said, this is not easy. They took the time to do it. Nobody enjoy and are like saying, oh my God, I'm very great at that. I really like to give feedback. So thank them. Show them that you appreciate them telling you. And sometimes follow-up are important. So make sure that you implement the suggestions. Make sure that you follow up with what you have done to reflect on the feedback and you took proper actions. So to finish, 3 inspiring quotes that I want to share with you because I'm like that type of person. I like quotes. Albert Einstein, said, all that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development according the individual. And that's true. It's exactly that. The answer to your feedback is your choice. But to develop yourself, you need to take this opportunity and accept to change and to improve. Another one that I really like, because I'm in HR, Ed Batista, executive coach and the writer at the Harvard Business Review, make feedback normal, not a performance review. This one, for me, is key. Because if you think about it, when feedback is normal within a company and it's part of a culture, it's like we are going to be so better at giving feedback every day, and it's going to be part of our normal life and our normal process. And we are going to remove the fears of performance reviews. Because right now, I know that a lot of praise fear the performance reviews to come because they know that it's going to be the time when they will have feedback to receive, and sometimes good, sometimes negative one, and they fear that moment. But we need to change that. So feedback needs to be part of the culture and needs to be something normal. So I really enjoy this quote. And the last one, Mary Kay Ash, she was a famous American businesswoman. There are 2 things people want more than sex and money: recognition and praise. And this is true. We all want to be like praised and recognized for our actions. So we are all humans. So this is important to take the time to also give positive feedbacks around us. Feedback should not only be about what I need to improve. It's like what I'm good at, and I feel recognized, and I feel I did a good job today. And especially for companies, this is key because this is how you will also retain and motivate your person and engage them in the company. So very true. Praise and recognition are key, and you do that through giving feedback to your peers, your manager, everywhere, your friends, your family. Last question, because it's time. Last time that you go to Menti, I just want you to describe in one word how you feel after this presentation. What will it be? What will be that word that you will choose? Refreshed. Gifted. Yes. Enlightened. Enlightened. I don't know what to say. Hopeful. Awesome. Motivated. Great. Honest, confident, informed. Nice. Inspired. And that's the key. So this is the it can be one of the superpower to like just say feedback is one of my superpower, and I really like take this for action for myself and to improve. So that's really key. So think about that. Don't forget my action to ask someone for a feedback next week, and be confident that you are giving feedback to be great to someone and to support them. And feedback is a gift. Thank you very much for your time.